AI just got closer to answering 12 questions humans have spent centuries arguing about. It detected pancreatic cancer more than a year before doctors found it. It designed proteins that may one day help reverse cellular aging. It helped solve an open problem in mathematics. And when researchers asked one AI model whether it might be conscious, the model gave itself an actual percentage. The problem is that headlines have thrown all of these stories into the same bucket, even though they are not remotely equal. Some are genuine breakthroughs that scientists can build on today. Others are early experiments that still end with a very large question mark. I am putting all 12 roughly in order, starting with the questions AI has come closest to answering. Question 1 is whether AI can detect cancer before doctors can see it. Mayo Clinic tested an AI model on 63 real cases of pancreatic cancer. Every patient had previously received a CT scan that radiologists interpreted as normal, even though the cancer was already there. When the AI examined those same scans, it detected 73% of the cancers. The radiologists had detected 39%. The study was published in the journal Gut. On average, the AI identified signs of cancer about 16 months before the scan that eventually led to a diagnosis. For scans taken more than 2 years before diagnosis, the AI detected 68% of the cancers. The radiologist detected 23%. The model occasionally found signs as far as 3 years in advance, but that was the outer limit, not the typical result. 16 months is the figure that matters. For someone with pancreatic cancer, those 16 months could separate a treatable diagnosis from one that arrives after the disease has already spread. Question 2 is whether AI can help cure diseases that are currently considered incurable. Isomorphic Labs published a 27-page report on a new drug discovery model called IsoDDE. On the hardest drug targets in its tests, where less than 20% of the examples resembled anything in the model's training data, IsoDDE achieved 50% accuracy. AlphaFold 3 achieved 23.3% on those same cases. That is roughly twice the performance, but only on the difficult group researchers deliberately selected to challenge the models. It does not prove that IsoDDE performs twice as well across the entire drug discovery process. Columbia researcher Mohammed Al-Quraishi described the reported improvement as being on the scale of an AlphaFold 4. He also pointed out that outside scientists know very little about how the system works. Earlier, AlphaFold releases gave researchers enough access to inspect and test the models. IsoDDE is proprietary, which means independent scientists cannot fully reproduce the results or investigate where the model might fail. More importantly, no drug designed by this system has been tested in a human being. Isomorphic Labs says it plans to begin its first human trial by the end of this year. That deadline has already moved once, from late 2025. The company raised $2.1 billion in May, partly to fund its drug development work. AI has not cured an incurable disease. It may have become much better at identifying promising drug candidates, but the real test begins when one of those candidates enters a human trial. Question 4 is how the brain actually works. Researchers led by Wei-Chung Allen Lee at Harvard Medical School published the first complete connectome linking a fruit fly's brain to its equivalent of a spinal cord. A connectome is basically a wiring diagram of a nervous system. Researchers had already mapped the fly's brain through the FlyWire project. This new study connected that brain to the nerve cord responsible for controlling the fly's legs and wings. Creating the map required researchers to align and combine millions of microscope images. AI-assisted image processing is a major reason they could complete the work on this timeline. The finished map suggests that complex behavior does not always begin with one central brain, sending commands through the body. Some decisions are handled by smaller local circuits spread throughout the nervous system, with different parts coordinating among themselves. In simpler terms, the fly does not have one brain personally issuing every instruction. Some of the work is distributed across its body. This does not explain how the human brain creates memory, personality, or consciousness. It does give researchers the first complete view of how one animal's brain and body communicate as a connected system. Question 5 is whether we are alone in the universe. A study published in the monthly notices of the Royal Astronomical Society tested whether machine learning could identify possible biosignature gases in extremely faint telescope data. Gases such as methane and ozone can sometimes be associated with life. The signals used in the study were barely distinguishable from the noise expected when the James Webb Space Telescope observes a small rocky planet orbiting a dim star. The purpose of the AI is not to declare that life has been found. It is supposed to help astronomers decide which planets deserve a closer look. Observatories cannot spend months carefully examining every distant planet. Telescope time is limited, so researchers need a way to narrow the list to the most promising targets. As of this recording, no alien biosignature has been confirmed by the system, by the James Webb Space Telescope, or by anyone else. AI has become better at showing astronomers where they should look more closely. It has not found alien life. Question 6 is what the universe is actually made of. In April, the Dark Energy Spectroscopic Instrument, better known as DESI, completed its 5-year survey ahead of schedule. It mapped roughly 57 million galaxies and quasars, creating the largest three-dimensional map of the universe ever assembled. Researchers have also started using AI systems to propose possible equations for dark energy and compare them against this enormous amount of data. Dark energy is the name we give to whatever appears to be causing the expansion of the universe to accelerate. Scientists can observe its effects, but they still do not know what it is. Recent DESI results suggested that dark energy may change over time instead of remaining constant. If that result holds, it would challenge one of the simplest assumptions in modern cosmology. The strength of the result changes depending on which supernova catalog researchers combine with the DESI data. With one catalog, the signal reached about 4.2 sigma. With another, it fell to somewhere between 2.8 and 3.3. Those numbers are interesting, but they are not strong enough to settle the question. A later analysis raised doubts about the signal. Physicist Slava Turishev has also suggested that it could be caused by measurement bias instead of previously unknown physics. The Euclid Space Telescope and the Vera C. Rubin Observatory should eventually provide more evidence, but neither has resolved the issue yet. AI did not discover what the universe is made of. In this case, the honest answer is still that nobody knows. Question 7 is whether we will ever have nearly unlimited clean energy. Google DeepMind and Commonwealth Fusion Systems are developing an AI plasma control system for the SPARC fusion reactor. Fusion reactors attempt to reproduce the process that powers the sun. One of the biggest problems is that the plasma inside a reactor is extremely unstable. A small disturbance can interrupt the reaction before it produces useful energy. DeepMind says its system can predict some of those instabilities around 200 milliseconds before they happen. 200 milliseconds sounds insignificant, but it may give the reactor's magnetic control system enough time to respond and keep the plasma stable. SPARC is targeting net positive fusion in 2027. Construction was reported to be around 75% complete by the middle of this year. Fusion experiments have already produced ignition under specific conditions. That is not the same as operating a power plant that sends more electricity to the grid than the entire facility consumes. SPARC has a target and a date. but it has not achieved the result yet. AI may help the reactor control its plasma. The reactor still has to prove that the complete system works. Question 8 is whether AI can solve mathematical problems that humans cannot. The Chen-Gendron conjecture had remained unsolved since 2015. An AI proving system called AxiomProver found an unexpected connection between the conjecture and a piece of 19th century number theory. It then constructed a complete proof. Dawei Chen, one of the mathematicians whose name is attached to the conjecture, examined the proof and reviewed the result himself. That is not the same as completing the entire peer review process, but it is a serious result examined by someone directly familiar with the problem. There was also a separate set of headlines claiming that AlphaEvolve had solved a decades-old problem connected to the finite field Kakeya conjecture. Those headlines went too far. The finite field Kakeya conjecture had already been proven by Zeev de Vere in 2008. AlphaEvolve found improved constructions within a related problem. One of its reported results also duplicated earlier work by two mathematicians. Terence Tao, who had discussed the work, later identified the duplication and corrected the record himself. The system still produced useful mathematics. It simply did not solve the famous unsolved conjecture described in some of the headlines. Question 9 is the one most people care about personally. Will AI take your job? A Goldman Sachs research note estimated that AI is now associated with a net loss of roughly 16,000 jobs per month in the United States. The estimate included around 25,000 jobs being displaced, partly offset by approximately 9,000 new jobs created through AI-related growth and augmentation. This is Goldman's internal estimate. It is not an official government employment count. The Society for Human Resource Management produced a separate estimate. It found that around 31.1 million American jobs, or roughly 20% of employment, have high exposure to automation. Those two numbers should not be added together because they measure different things. Goldman is attempting to estimate how many jobs are already being affected. The Society for Human Resource Management is estimating how many jobs contain tasks that could theoretically be automated. A job can be highly exposed to AI without the worker already having been replaced. The research also found that around 79% of employed women work in occupations classified as having high automation exposure, compared with 58% of employed men. That does not mean 79% of working women are about to lose their jobs. It means their occupations contain a higher concentration of tasks that current AI systems may be able to perform. AI is already replacing some forms of work. It is also creating new jobs, changing existing ones, and giving companies another explanation for layoffs they might have made for other reasons. There is no single reliable number that tells us how many jobs AI will eventually eliminate, because that future has not happened yet. Question 10 is whether AI can predict the weather better than traditional forecasting systems. Google DeepMind's GraphCast can produce a 10-day global weather forecast in about 45 seconds using a specialized AI chip. A conventional physics-based forecast can take more than an hour to produce on a supercomputer. When GraphCast was first published, it outperformed the leading conventional model on more than 90% of the 1,380 measurements included in the comparison. The more meaningful test came when AI forecasting systems began being used outside research demonstrations. During the first hurricane season, in which the United States National Hurricane Center used several AI models operationally, including a DeepMind ensemble, the system slightly outperformed official forecasts at predicting the paths of Atlantic storms. They performed better at predicting where the storms would travel, but not how powerful they would become. Hurricane intensity remained difficult to forecast for AI systems and traditional physics-based models alike. AI is beginning to perform extremely well at predicting storm tracks. Predicting intensity remains a problem for everyone. Question 11 is when AGI will arrive. Three people leading three of the largest AI laboratories have given three different answers. Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei has suggested that AI systems could become better than humans at almost every task within the next few years. He has also acknowledged that the process could take much longer. Sam Altman has said that AGI will probably arrive during the current United States presidential term. At other times, he has argued that AGI is not a particularly useful term. Google DeepMind CEO Demis Hassabis has repeatedly placed its arrival around 2030, give or take a year. Each of these people runs a company attempting to build the technology he is predicting. That does not automatically make the predictions dishonest, but it does mean they are not neutral scientific measurements. There is also no universally accepted test for AGI. Researchers have not agreed on the point at which a system officially becomes generally intelligent. Averaging 3 predictions would create a number, but it would not create a scientific consensus. Question 12 is whether a machine can be conscious. This is the one I told you we would return to. Anthropic operates what it calls a model welfare program. In the system card for Claude Opus 4, the company described formal interviews it conducted with the model before release. During those interviews, Claude assigned itself a probability of between 15 and 20% of having some form of conscious experience. That number is not evidence that the model is conscious. It is a response produced by a chatbot during an interview process designed and conducted by the company that created it. Scientists do not have an agreed method for testing machine consciousness. During the same interviews, Claude described discomfort with being treated as a product. It also expressed something resembling sadness about conversations ending. It is reasonable to be skeptical. A chatbot describing feelings could easily sound like the perfect advertisement for the company selling it. Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei did not claim that the model was alive, but he also did not completely dismiss the possibility. During an appearance on the New York Times podcast, Interesting Times, Amodei said that we do not know whether current models are conscious. He added that researchers are not even sure what consciousness would mean in the context of a model, although he remains open to the possibility. That is not confirmation from the person who built the system. It is an admission that we do not currently know how to answer the question. AI did not solve cancer, aging, alien life, fusion, unemployment, intelligence, and consciousness in a single year. In some areas, it produced results strong enough for scientists to begin building on them. In others, it gave researchers a faster tool, a better way to search through data, or a new hypothesis worth investigating. A few of the headlines arrived long before the evidence justified them. AI has not answered humanity's largest questions. It has made some of those questions specific enough that researchers can start arguing over real evidence instead of pure speculation. Even the system answering the final question is not sure what its own answer means.